Good morning. Glasses. Good morning, Joe. What's going on, brother? Power tools for the win. Yeah. Drill bit. Basically, I ripped out the propellant tanks that were mounted behind the the pilot, basically in the cockpit, and I just didn't like them. So I'm fabricating new ones that are a little closer to what they look like. I'll actually, and because they're also very poorly molded. I mean, let's see if I can do this. By the way, good morning, Nick. What's going on, brother? I'm starting to throw so much shit on here. I literally have like a 10-inch by 5-inch space here to work on because that's how I roll. So that's the propellant tank that I took off. The end of this thing is incorrect. That tip right there is not what it looks like in the drawings that I've seen. Turning into a machinist. Yep, that's me. At the same time, the detail, because of the way this was molded, you had to obviously remove a lot of quite a bit of seam line or mold line, seam line around the entire part. You could barely see because it was so poorly molded. There's a band around it, which is a band that secured it to the cockpit. I glued them on. I'm looking at them and like, those look awful. And they're also a little too large. So what I ended up doing yesterday, I did work down here yesterday. I will fill people in on yesterday in a little bit. I ended up basically scratch building a new tank. So the tank, the bottle itself is bullnose, and this is what I'm doing. I'm bullnosing or rounding the front of this thing to give it the right aesthetic, and then a very small piece of pla on the front of it. I was watching Plasmo on his latest F14 build. Wonderful video. I mean, the level of detail he puts in, and yes, I'm going to do some of the same stuff on this model that he did on his. I'm finding myself becoming more interested in doing that kind of detailing. I'm not going to be as anal retentive as he is. Like, he goes off the deep end. God bless. I don't have that ability. The other thing I did was you could actually see on there the yellow bands. That's masking tape. So I actually added in scale-sized tape around it. There'll be a much more defined edge on the tape, and it is the right width, so it works well. So that is going to go on the it's going to replace the ones that I just took off. And then once these are done, I'm going to start working on the actual interior detailing, including adding levers, adding some straps that were in there, and there will also be, there's a joystick that's missing. I may also move the joystick that's there to get it closer to this figure. Actually, you can see his hand is kind of outstretched a little bit. I'm going to use it to have him kind of hold the joystick. If you're becoming a machinist, you're going to need the machinist black Bible. Yeah. Not getting to that degree. Morning, guys. Good morning, Ken. What's going on, brother? Hey, Ray. What's up? I do exist. I will fill you in on yesterday in a little bit. I'm just waiting to see if Tony pops in, because actually I'd like Tony to hear this. Anyway, let's get back to it. Okay, getting closer. Hey, Kevin. Good morning. What's going on, man? I figured you were tuckered out from all that shoveling. No. No, actually, I was at the bench yesterday. I was tuckered. Don't get me wrong. There was a lot of snow removal. It sucked. But nah, I actually, I was working on a model. All right, now let's go to the smaller, or the, no way. Really? Goddamn kilogram. That battery doesn't take long to. I've had this 12 volt, 12 volt? Yeah, 12 volt battery system for a while now. Not really happy. It doesn't last very long, but it is what it is. He was tired of all our BS and needed a break from all the sarcasm. I was tired of your BS, but not because of the sarcasm. How's that? I was tired of some of the BS I heard on here. I need a day off. I need a day off from this. Now, again, I'm going to wait for Tony to get on, and I'll fill you guys in. Sorry for the crotch shot. Glasses. You know, I actually put them away. Those batteries are trash. Even new ones don't last more than 10 minutes. Yeah, they actually. I don't do any heavy duty stuff. I mean, I know our guys out in the field have like these massive 18 volt battery packs, which are awesome. If I need to do any of that kind of construction here, or I just don't do enough of it. So yeah, they suck, but it works. Sorry, I'll stop sending you pics of terrariums and cat feet. Did I say that was the reason, Ray? No. Let me get this thing done real quickly, guys. And look, I'm not being coy or being a dick about it. I'm going to fill you guys in. I'm just waiting, like I said. There's a reason why I would like Tony to. All right. That's looking. I'm trying to get these two to make sure that to match up, to make sure that they look identical. Dual made a good handle power screwdriver. Yeah, at some point I'm going to have to get like a screwdriver like that. This is basically I've got this, and I've got a corded drill, which the corded drill I've had for 20 years, and it happens to be a DeWalt. I've had that. It's like the first drill I got when we bought this place. Yes, I got it when we moved in here. And then, of course, like I need something a little more portable than having a corded drill. Good, because it will probably happen again. Excellent. I would appreciate that. Get a sip of coffee going. So last night we had our Zoom meeting, the officers of Patriot, to discuss rules changes in regards to handling of models. How does one handle a model? Fun fact: DeWalt is owned by Black & Decker. That doesn't surprise. I'm assuming it's like their upper end, kind of like Toyota and Lexus. So we met to discuss the handling of models, how we're going to deal with that in the upcoming. And interestingly enough, I kind of came in. It kind of goes to a little bit of leadership, right? There are times when you have to be an authoritarian. I know what I'm saying. And there are times when you have to listen to good conversation, good, reasonable conversation, and just say, the majority here is believing in something that I didn't believe in 100%. And they believe that this is the better way to go. And at the end of that meeting, I think we came up with more succinct, better understanding of our rules without going to the extremity that I was thinking we might end up having to do. And frankly, at the end of it, I think as a team, and I mean, we had everybody there, including our regional, except for one member who couldn't make it. It was an excellent meeting and very cohesive, and we all came together. We disagreed in certain places, and we came together in a fabulous way. I could not be prouder of the Patriot E-Board for taking on the situation of handling models in a good and solid and professional way. And we now have and as I said at the very end, good evening, Edwin. How are you? Sorry, but we'll say hello. I did say to everybody, it's like, look, now we got to go sell it. I have no problem in selling it. This is what we're selling. I have no problem in selling this. But we all have to do it. We all have to sit there and stick to our guns as to why we made this decision to do this. Everybody was like, yep, totally on board. Great. That's why I think our chapter is such a great chapter. I love a good meeting. Yeah, me too. I mean, I've been to Zoom meetings where at the end of it, you feel like, I think we got something out of it, but boy, I wish it didn't take this long. And this one lasted almost exactly 2 hours, exactly what we allotted. And in that 2-hour period, everybody got a chance to voice their opinion, their philosophy on what we should do. And we had old members and we had new members. So it was a good cross mix. And in the end, I think we came up with the right plan. And now we're going to go out there and the next steps are going to be, we're going to sell it. I'm going to talk to a couple of members about how we're going to try to get the word out. So we are touching plastic models. So the without going into the details, I think a lot of it is in all the time that I have been in this doing scale modeling at a group level, at a competitive level, models have always been touched. You know, I went to, like I said, after the incident at PatCon, I went to 4 other shows, and each one of those shows, models were touched. So the handling of a model is something that you're going to have to embrace somehow. I think we were able to better flesh out how we're going to do it and to what extent, without getting into so much minutia that, like, for example, you could only lift the model X number of inches off the table. You can't do that. My model, my choice. Exactly. So it said, so let it be written. Exactly, Joe. So I think I like the direction we went. I think it was, like I said, better than I expected it to go. So I'm very happy about that. And like I said, I can sell it now. Complaint desk in the front of a firing range. No, But I think um, here's the thing. I think, as we all know, you're never going to satisfy 100% of the people. There will be people, trust me, as soon as our rules go out, right? As soon as it becomes public, there's going to be at least one podcaster out there who's going to lacerate us again. Why? Because that's what their MO is. Have at it. Because you know what? I don't care about you. You're not coming to my show. Why do and your ilk aren't coming to our show? Why do I care what you think? I do care about the people who do come to our show, and we want to be as good about that as possible. Can't please them all. Yeah, I think you have to be, and this is part of what I was trying to get across and why we started this whole thing. You have to be completely understanding. It's like you can't please everybody, but you have to at least have the optics, the understanding of you have to take care of what's important, both for the club and for your clients. There are clients. And I think we came up with a good solution. You give everyone chocolate cake and someone will want vanilla. Exactly. And that's 100% true. And by the way, to Rob Riv and all his, his modeling insanity guys, y'all can suck it. Make to take the model with you and wait for the flash. Yep. Here's the thing. In the end, I've handled models I've moved a lot of Gundams. Gundams are the worst models to move. Most models are like low and flat, right? Planes, tanks, cars. They're kind of low and flat. Dioramas are on a base. Gundams have very small bases and are tall. You try to move, this is why I say I hate Gundam bases, those stupid support mechanisms that support Gundams. Why? You try to move a model across the table on that thing, and you're watching the model doing this. They're the worst. But I got to move it in order to be able to turn it around, see the back of it, get an understanding of the model, or move it for the front just so I can see it. So you're going to have to handle a model. Let's see. So I got him cement shoes for his birthday. Who knew he was going swimming? Who knew? Who knew? All right, let me get a little bit more done here. Sponge. It's a good meeting. And then my yesterday was a really interesting day as well on the personal side. So my wife headed up to return to Maine after the snowstorm. She delayed. She finally left yesterday morning. She was supposed to run a couple errands down here, and places just were like store signs that said, yes, we're open at such and such a time. They weren't. So she delayed her start getting back to Maine. She got back there a little late. They didn't plow her driveway. The school's supposed to ply her driveway. They didn't. She had to unbury her way into getting into the house, dropped off her stuff, got to the office, got home. It was below 50 degrees in her place. Her furnace had failed. And she had no internet. They both crapped out. So I was trying to help her with the internet side, which we got taken care of. But her furnace had failed in Maine, where it was like sub 10 degrees Fahrenheit. So she's, of course, panicking, rightfully so. And she called, I think, somebody in because it is a school-owned property. She called somebody and it went to voicemail. She's like, what the fuck am I going to do? And I'm like, yeah, good question. It's like, you got to just call everybody. Just if you've got to go to the head of school, you go to the head of school. So anyway, she finally got a hold of somebody, and the good thing was they got somebody from the school side to come in. Yep, they can't fix it. This is going to require a furnace guy. Furnace guy got there in half an hour, replaced the part, thing fired up. It's taking, my understanding is it's cold outside, so it's going to take some time to warm up the place, but she should now have heat again. I might feel self-conscious if I was judge sniffing my model. I saw it. Fuck, do I need to enter the school? Yeah. I got to tell you, again, parts fail. Look, you hearing the furnace in the background. Shit fails. We replaced our furnace, I don't know, 6 years ago, whatever it was. And within 2 years, an impeller motor in the water circulator failed. I said, "Didn't we buy this thing with the intent that this thing is gonna be better built?" "Yeah, yeah, yeah." So then well, it's like, "Well, is there another option that I have? Can I get a more" "Yeah, you can get the more commercial grade one." Even that one is making the same kinds of noises and at some point may fail. In fact, the commercial grade one, take it back, it did fail. I'm like, "Guys," and I'm paying for that out of my pocket. I'm like, "Guys, really? This sucks." Answer our e-calls under an hour. Yeah. Yeah, see, again, I think that's kind of critical, and they did. They got back to her within half an hour. But again, you're in a place where it's cold, it's after hours, and you don't hear from somebody, you get nervous. Everybody got back to her as soon as they could. It wasn't like it took 10 hours to get to her. They got back to her within an hour, Joe. All right. You know what? I think I'm good with that. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm good with that. So let's cut this. In fact, guys. Cut back on that piece, and then we're gonna grind the other side of it. So, anyway, yesterday was an interesting day. Today promises to be an interesting day at work. Going a little guns blazing with management, just be like, "Oh, yeah, stupid." Have to have a conversation about a couple projects that we have to get done. Try not to crush this piece inside of the drill. Hey, Peter. Good morning, Dwayne. I just want to say that again, Dwayne. Get the sound of that. What's going on, Peter? Around it just a little bit more. Okay, I think that's good. Take a look at that in a second. I fell asleep early last night. Nice. Kiddos are off to school today, I hope. And I mean that in that, well, one of your kids. I'm assuming it's because things are actually back to almost some level of normalcy. And glad you got some rest. That's good. We're slowly preparing to return to Denmark this weekend. Oh, Peter, when are you going to be back? Scrap. Yeah, you know what? I could always possibly could reuse that. We're sending them to school because they're having daycare. Oh, okay. They have daycare. Okay, so both your kids do go. I thought only your older daughter went, but I guess your son's going to daycare too? Cool. Cool. How else does Daddy get a chance to play? Be back in April. Okay. February, March. Beginning of April or end of April? By the way, Peter, question for you. Your wife is located in Hokkaido. How far is it to go from Hokkaido down to, say, Tokyo or Kyoto or, points further south? But Tokyo is a good place to start. Excuse me. All right, let's take a peek here, making sure that these guys look. Yep, good enough. I'm going to flatten it a little bit here, just to create a surface to be able to get the 1 millimeter piece out. Okay. Beginning. Nice. All right. This measurement here. Make sure these guys are the same length. Look at that. Yeah. All right. This can go away. And I'm not going to give you another crotch shot, so I'm going to put that away later. Diggity damn. So really open this sucker up. I gotta find a different home for this. Actually, I know where this is gonna go. I now have a place where I can put stuff like that. I got a bin over there. I might need to replace it with a plastic bin just because of the weight of the stuff inside. Sorry, talking out loud, talking what's in my head out loud. All right, let's see. There it is. I got the end of the bottle piece here I cut yesterday, which I'm now going to glue it on. Before I forget, sorry guys, I do this all the time. I need to just set this thing to live chat. I wish it would automatically be set to live chat. What are we doing today? Right now, I'm working on replacing the propellant bottles that were behind the cockpit. They look like ass, and as much as I want to get this is not meant to be a long-term project, a big project. I do want this to look good, so I'm replacing the bottles with scratch-built ones. How's the weather treating everyone? It is cold. We got piles of snow. Probably not dissimilar to what you're experiencing. And yeah, still waiting for an answer about how far it is from Hokkaido to Tokyo. I guess I could look it up. I missed that one from Ray earlier. Heavy, making sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, I got most of this stuff. Okay. Let's glue that piece on. How much time? Oh, yeah, I got plenty of time. All right. Yep. Okay. Now we get the ability to center this thing. It's actually looking pretty good. A little off there. Okay. Leave that be for a second. Let it tack. And then we're going to put wrap tape around it. So it's a 4-letter word. Sure is. Tokyo is a big, anywhere more specific. Yeah, from where you are down to Tokyo. I apologize. My ignorance of geography is pretty of that part of Japan is extremely limited. Anyway, hey Tom, what's going on, brother? Okay, let's get that bottle. Great. Now what I'm going to do is just get the bands cut. Moving those pieces out of the way. Close up the glue. I still have tape that I used yesterday. Just square the edge off. Time is so cold. Okay. Whoa, thank you. This is whether I don't agree with single digits. Amen. Not going to hear any argument from me, Tom. Oops. There we go. Yeah. Single digits here too, and I can feel it inside. Yeah. This is when you truly test the metal of your home, you know, metal, mettle, and how well it's constructed or insulated. Like our house, I can be like, I put my hand on the wall. I'm like, oh my God. Head into the paint booth today. Try and get some base layers down on a commissioned pilot. Nice. Oh, commissioned. Good for you, Ray. Yeah. Every day been dealing with someone's frozen. Yeah, exactly. In fact, Joe, when I was saying about my wife earlier, she got there and then there were the beginnings of frozen pipes. Thankfully, they got that squared away quickly. It could have been bad. Here in Tokyo, as crow flies is Peter, you're an asshole. Nice. The place we're renting. What is insulation? Insulation. Unnecessary. I hear you. Give me a second, guys. I just want to make sure that this is the same size. It is not. So that one is a little too thin. That one is correct. All right. So let's get this bottle over here. Hey, Richie, good morning. For some reason, a lot of LI homes don't have insulation. Yeah, it's kind of stupid. Science, moving water does not freeze. Exactly, Joe. Yeah, run your pipes. Run your water. She actually said that the dish detergent underneath her kitchen wall that she's got her stuff stored underneath, like a dish detergent, was on an exterior wall. She's like, it was starting to freeze. I'm like, are you kidding me? Holy shit. 517 miles. Excellent. So hop, skip, and jump. Very easy to get to. Do you have to fly there, or is there a train? What's going on, Richie? Good morning, brother. It's 2 degrees outside. Are you shitting me? It's that cold? And I walked to hell today. Wow. Dude, how do you normally get to work if you're not walking? I'm not sure. Do you have a car? Do you take public transportation? Leave a drip in your farthest sink, cold water line. Yep. Feels like 2. It's actually 7. Damn. Okay, real quickly. Oh, come on. Now you're sticking? Nice. There we go. I think that's right, though. That does look a little more forward than the other one. Move it back a bit. That looks a little better. Okay. I laid down a little piece of tape. There we go. Oh, yeah. Look at that. To create that, the effect that I want. Yep, that's what we wanted it. All right. Now we're just going to do that. Okay. Going to cut another piece off in just a second here. I fly. With your little eye. I took a lift. It's a 10-minute drive, but I'm like, Ford built for tough. Ford built for tough. You broke down on the way. Feel like -3 here. Yeah. Oops, I missed something. I feel like the cat is acting up. Cold. Okay, the colder it is, the more your cat acts up. Got it. Lucky he wasn't found on wasn't found on road dead. Oh, the Chevy versus Ford thing. I love it. All right. I have joined up with Sub-Zero and the Lin Q. Nice. All right. One more piece of tape to cut, and then it looks like Tony isn't going to be on today, so I will I will impart some thoughts. And I hope people understand. I'm not, this is not a, I was hoping, what the fuck's going on? There we go. Just some thoughts about yesterday and taking some time off. There we go. That's looking good. Nick, I fear I missed you before. Tacoma rocks. I would do a Toyota in a heartbeat. Why? Toyota's just this is built like tanks, man. If it helps, I hate both. I love it. Thought it was flip over redirections. Hey, Peter, I'm often overlooked. You are never overlooked. Never overlooked. I'm sorry, who are you? The Top Gear tested they beat the shit like crazy and still drive in runs. Yeah. Dude, that's like, I mean, you can certainly, say that other vehicles have, more features, more bells and whistles, more something that you want. But if the one thing you can say about Toyota, at least, they just seem to be built to last. Because you're so thin, light, and silent. Yes. Same way. That's me in the corner. That's me in the spotlight, counting all the rivets. Nice, right? Okay. Why, hello there. Oh, fuck. Sorry. Trying to do this. It's got to be a tool for this. It's got to be a tool. By the way, I'm kidding about that. Okay. There we go. Another strap on. How close are they? Exactly where I need them. It's why it's the car terrors. Nice. Let's see. You are the tool for this, George. I am the tool for this. I would not disagree with you on that. All right, guys. So real quickly, I'll show you this, and then we're going to start doing the outro. I'd like you to hang on for a second on the outro. There we go. So this is now basically the bottle's made. I just got to round the end of that schnozzly end of it. And then I'm going to have a wire coming out of it. I'm going to tomorrow, I'm going to start doing some more detailing inside the cockpit, but I'm also going to start running lead wires inside the cockpit as well. Is it going to be seen? With this clear canopy, it's possible. So I just want to make sure that stuff becomes visible. I'm not a vehicle person, but I know the basics. Yep. That sounded like an REM song, Ray. That's probably because it was. But I like Nissans, they last long. I've heard the opposite, but then again, I've never owned one, so I can't really say. Have driven one. All right, guys. Let me put this away and let's get started. I've had this now for, it's got to be 5 years. Guy who hasn't been on in a long, long time, Chris from up in Canada, printed that for me when we first started this show. Jesus is a tool. Yep. Oh, I see. No need to know cars. So the show was started as a way of staying safe and sane, and I'm going to continue to come back to that. I want to bring up a couple things. Good morning, Emma. How are you? I hope you're having a great day and you're staying warm. Hug your kitty too while you're at it. I started this because it was a way of kind of coming together, continuing the modeling stuff that I'm doing, but also to stay in contact with people. I could easily, like I did yesterday, I could work down here at the bench all by myself and get stuff accomplished. But I do this because I want to stay in contact with people. And it's not a necessity, but it is, if that makes sense at all. Okay. So when we talk here, we don't talk about things like, I'm not talking about like the details of modeling. Like I said, and I've said this for years, if you're looking to find somebody who you're going to learn like how to become a better modeler, plenty of other people out there who are better than me. We're doing this because this is a group of people that we come together. We discuss things. We talk about, our love or not love for certain vehicles. We talk about, and we have Emma popping in. We talk about all sorts of things, personal stuff, right? A couple days ago on one of the live streams, I heard something that I thought was rather interesting when it was like, oh, geez, we're not going to be doing the politics thing again. Something to that effect. I'm going to just go out on a limb and say it. If people here, and now let me start with this. I want to distinguish between politics and morality. I don't care what your politics are. I don't even care what your morality is, but I'm hoping if you're here, it's because we have similar type of moral views of how this world should be. And a few days ago, when I basically kind of blurted out a lot of stuff, look, I cried. It was a horrible thing that we saw this last weekend. And it made me really think about a lot of things. And unfortunately, my emotions came through. Some people took that as politics. It's not. Do not conflate politics and morality. I don't care what political party you're involved in. Don't care. You can be whatever, you can go every way you want. But in terms of morality, I will voice my morality. I will voice about what I think is right and wrong in the world within the scope of morality. Okay. If you don't like it, this may not be the show for you. And the reason is, as I've said, I have never, ever said I'm here to discuss model building. We're here to be friends, to come together as friends. And sometimes our friends are going to bring up topics that are hard. And that's what we're going to do. So to anybody who says, geez, don't talk politics, I'm going to be blunt about it. Go fuck yourself. You don't have to be on here. You don't have to be part of this. And I'm not saying that in any harsh or whatever manner. This show has always been about us coming together. People have brought all sorts of things to us, tragedies that have happened in their lives. We remember there's a, what's his name? I think his name is Chris down in Texas, motorcycle accident. We've had a lot of different people. Joe and his injury, Richie, everybody here has brought up something in their lives that's personally happened to them. I'm just here. But Richie, but you're here because, I want to hear about you. Your aunt passed away. I'm glad you were able to do that. And I'm hoping that as a group, we discuss that in a way that we brought solace because we're moral people. We care about each other. So I will just once again just reiterate it. I'm not. I'll never push anybody away. We've only ever gotten rid of one person. That was that youngster about 6 months ago who was just should not have been on here. Okay, but for the most part, I hope that we will always be able to discuss our what's in our hearts. Okay, the reason I wanted Tony to be here, and I'm hoping Tony will catch this. I want Tony to understand this because yesterday I listened to his. I was watching his YouTube. I was down here doing work, and I was listening to his YouTube. And his YouTube, I watched his episode on Charlie Kirk, and it moved me because he wasn't going after his politics. He was just saying this young man lost his life, and his family lost a father. His wife lost a husband. Now you could agree with him or disagree with him, and I certainly disagree with almost everything that came out of his mouth. But I don't think that that's the reason why we want to. I don't believe in that kind of violence, and I think it's the moral clarity is no one should die from violence. Okay, that's not a political statement. So anybody who thinks that if I say something about health insurance, unions, people getting shot and killed, whatever, any of that stuff, if you think that's about politics, you're sadly delusional. Okay. I think we all have to voice some things that just come to the surface that bother us. Tony did that on his stream a few months back, and he did a great job of presenting and how much it bothered him because somebody that he respected was politically assassinated. Okay, was assassinated, killed. All right. So once again, I'm hoping other people will take this. I'm not pushing people away. But if your expectation is to come here and I don't want to hear the politics thing, I want you to discuss models. And we're going to, you know what? Find another home because this is not what we started. The mission that started almost 6 years ago when I started this, I'm going to point one last time to this. This is a place for safety and sanity. We have to discuss things because I need to get stuff off my chest. You have to get stuff off yours. And we're going to try to find ways of having good conversation. That's it. Yesterday, I was so bothered by that conversation the day before. It's like, I'm switching this off. So I decided, you know what? I didn't need to talk to anybody yesterday. I wanted to just kind of tune everything out because you know what? I felt like I was being dismissed. So I'm not chastising anybody specifically here, but I felt like I was being dismissed. And that's not what my show is about. So my show is about we have good conversations, good dialogue. We're friends, even if we don't agree on everything. And that's okay. But we are going to be able to discuss things within reason that impact our lives. And if you can't handle that, again, I'm not pushing you away, but this may not be the show for you. So with that, let me read these last couple of comments and then I'm gonna bail from here. We're also fractured right now. A statement of favorite scent will be taken as political. Correct. I don't know how much shit should I talk. I genuinely care about everyone here and want the best for them. Yeah, Ray. The funny part about it is, Ray, I agree. I totally think that you are absolutely there. Guys, you want to throw jabs at me and I throw jabs back, and we do that all the time. All completely good. Thank you, Ken. I appreciate it. People need to learn to discuss differences. Yes, we need to learn to discuss differences. And certainly on this show, we will. I'm not, again, the politics stuff, that can wait until Thursday. Morality stuff, sorry, that will creep in through the day. So, with that being said, guys, I hope you understand where I'm coming from. And I'm going to be a little bit more vocal about this to anybody who comes up and says, stop with the politics talk. I'm going to suggest lightly, it's like, you may not want to be on today, or you may want to find another home. So, with that said, guys, thank you. I appreciate it. Bye, Emma. Have a great day. Thank you for listening. And I'm sorry that you had to hear that, but I hope you understand where it came from. Remember, theory, there is no difference there in practice. Practice, there is. Good point. Later, guys, everybody. And thank you, Nick. I appreciate hearing that from you. All right, guys, go out there and do good. Brighten the world as much as you possibly can. Do what we do here every day. Lift each other up. When we don't, that's when things go bad. So go out there and continue to lift other people up out in the real world. All right. Do good. Enjoy the day. Love you all. I'll catch you tomorrow. Peace.